this scenic resort town. For Chela, that last victory in 2004, a win over Safin on the clay in Portugal. Also winning this event when it was held in the altitude of Mexico City in 2000. He's been very good historically in this tournament. 15-4, in addition to that championship, when he defeated Mariano Puerta's countryman, semifinalist 2002, 2004, and we're underway in Acapulco.
And a dead net cord just to start off the match. Horna hoping that's not a sign of things to come. Well, that's really smart play from the Peruvian. One thing that Chela has trouble with, it's movement. As you can see, had a little bit of trouble getting to that drop shot, and because he got there late, he wasn't able to recover for the topspin lob. Horna, one of the toughest competitors that I've seen out on the tour.
The service winner a year ago, the Peruvian reaching 3 quarterfinals, won his first doubles title among those runs deep in tournaments. Gstaad, Washington, D.C., also on clay here in the United States in Houston. Popular on tour, former co-VP of the Players Council.
And it'll be interesting to see how Horna recovers from that tough match that he won against Gaudio in the semi. That match finished late last night, and Horna won that in 3 very tough sets after dropping the first set. So how does he recover? Well, that's the shot that Horna's going to have to be very leery of. It's the Chela forehand. We talked about it in the warm-up. And that's the ball that he can just spank around the court, and he has a lot of confidence that he can hit that ball pretty much wherever he wants.
Break chance in the opening game. But fights out of it with the ace.
And that's no surprise. Horna, even only 5'11" and playing on this slow red clay, possesses a good first serve. That voice you hear in the background, that's the chair umpire from Italy, Romano Grillotti.
Chela breaks to open this championship. Juan Ignacio making headlines to start the year with his win over Leighton Hewitt at the Australian Open. Hewitt was slowed by the ankle injury, but the Argentine reaching the round of 16, losing to Nicholas Kiefer. Mixed results on the clay circuit through South and Latin America. In Brazil, reached the quarterfinals, losing to Juan Monaco.
Juan, I'm not from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Always good for tax purposes. Argentine pride on display. This event popular on both tours. The stars of the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour also gathered at this resort, the Fairmont Acapulco Princess.
And it's really important for Chela to get a high percentage of first serves in because there's such a variation between the first and the second ball. When Chela knocked off Hewitt, the match we spoke about earlier in Australia, he served at a very high first serve percentage level, which you have to do against Hewitt because he returns so well. And no one would have figured that Chela would have been able to manhandle Hewitt like he did on the hard courts there, but he's looking for that same type of performance tonight, consistent. You know, this is the type of point that we're going to see throughout the evening. Just both players feeling each other out. Neither one of them going for the lines per se. And you see what happens when they do. That's when they make the unforced error. I really like the fact they're playing this final at nighttime. A lot of electricity with the fans and the crowd.
Chela can generate power with his serve. We saw that last summer with his deep run in Los Angeles, reaching the semifinals on the hard court in Southern California.
He did great in that event until he ran into the old wizard, right? Andre Agassi,
who was going to eschew clay entirely this year, announcing he will skip all the events and the French Open to concentrate solely on Wimbledon.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's unusual.
Sharp winner to consolidate the break.
Typically, you'll see Chela go back cross court with that ball. He changed the direction of the ball, went up the line, caught his opponent by surprise. So a good start for Chela. Certainly a little bit of those early inning jitters for Horna.
Doug, from the player's perspective, how does Luis shake complacency that would seem to be natural, just the satisfaction of having reached this final?
To answer your question, what he has to really realize is, number one, that they played just a couple weeks ago and the match was dead even. So he knows he can compete at this level with Chela. Now it's just a matter of not focusing on anything other than each point, each ball. Forget it's the finals. Just play it like a first round match. And if he can do that, then he'll be able to have some success. And there's always those intangibles. You just don't quite know how someone's going to respond when they're in a unique situation like it is for Horna tonight. And that's a shot he would normally make.
15 iguales.
And the other thing for Horna is they've played, several times, but this is the first time they've met on neutral soil. Horna's been able to win on Peruvian soil.
30-15.
Chela on his own home soil in Argentina. So tonight, you can look at this if you're Horning and say, hey, you know what, this is my chance, because there's no advantage for him to play me here. Big serve. Only 5'11", but boy, packs a big first serve. And the thing for Horna is if he can serve at that level, he will get some confidence, and we get some of the short balls, he's going to be able to move forward. That serve was 130 miles per hour.
Horna holds at 30, but he's down a break opening sets. Singles final from Acapulco.
Chela gana 2-1.
Chemistry. It's the force that makes relationships exciting and passionate.
When we first met, we first actually physically met, we hugged and it was like electricity with us.
Wow, this is incredible.
It's like tasting champagne for the first time.
That feeling of just fireworks going off, like something magical was happening.
When chemistry is married with compatibility, the passion grows with time, becoming sweeter and more magical with each passing day.
The chemistry was absolutely phenomenal. It's as if we knew each other our whole lives.
Conversation flowed.
With eHarmony, we got compatibility and we have chemistry.
It's electricity. That's the only way I can describe our chemistry.
It's either there or it's not.
That's it.
Experience the joy of chemistry based on true compatibility by getting your compatibility profile. A $50 value, yours free when you log on to eHarmony.com. eHarmony.com. Log on today.
I've reviewed GoDaddy's request to advertise with us. I'm sure you're the world's #1 in .com names. .com's for just $1.99 with free email and free hosting and free website included. You know, I get that. I do. And of course, you know, GoDaddy's service is very personal. GoDaddy, though, does have a bit of reputation, especially after last year's ad.
Just go to www.godaddy.com.
The aerodynamic principles that keep a Saab jet in the air help the Saab 9.5 remain firmly on the ground. Introducing the new 260 horsepower Saab 9.5. Once you've built jets, you don't build just another car.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Well, it's not a full moon, but we've gotten the gremlins out of the satellites and reestablished our feed of this men's singles final.
Por favor, que tomen sus asientos.
stragglers late to their seats in this event that moved from Mexico City to Acapulco in 2001, and a year ago it was won by Rafael Nadal. Hope you enjoyed that brilliant match, which began our broadcast day, the first of 3 events. Nadal outlasting Roger Federer in Dubai. It was unforgettable.
3 sets, Federer winning that first set easily, 6-2, but then dropping the last 2 sets and then 6-4 in the third. The amazing thing about that Federer-Nadal match, Nadal now holds a 3-1 winning record over Federer.
And after the match, Federer said, I was lucky to have won that match in Miami last
down
year.
2 sets to love,
exactly.
And 4-1 in the third set.
Here in Acapulco, though, Chela up the break, opening set.
No, I just missed it. Just long. Very rarely do you see either player going for the line unless they really think they can thread the needle, and Chela just barely missing, even though Romano Grillotti comes out of the chair looking very svelte. Romano concurring. You know, Romano's had a little bit too much gelati in his days.
Native of Milan, makes the long stroll from the chair.
He's a lovely man. I've gotten to know him pretty well out there on the tour, and couldn't be nicer to be around. Loves the game. That's a bad slice. Horna under no duress, just trying to play the ball back in, but doesn't execute the backhand well. The ball, when you don't slice through the ball or hold your wrist firm, the ball will sail and it will float. And that's what happens to Horna, and that's what happens when you're nervous. So he's a bit shell-shocked here early in the match. Chela, on the other hand, coming through his semi over Almagro just easily, 2-2. No, it's wonderful. I mean, what a difference in draw. Chela playing a qualifier in his semifinal, whereas Horna's having to take on, or had to take on, Gaudio, the number 2 seed. Certainly that had to take quite a bit out of him. Now a half chance, though, for the Peruvian. And look at where he's standing to return Chela's serve. He's 8 feet behind the baseline, obviously looking just to get the ball back in play to get the point started. That's good length from Horna. And you hear when Horna hits the ball well, when he clips it, you hear the heaviness of the topspin of his ball. And he's able to push Chela back.
Opportunity to break back. An exchange of breaks in the initial sets. Back on serve in Acapulco.
And interesting there, Chela missing a couple forehands, which really is his big shot. You would think that Horna would be trying to stay away from the forehand, pressure the backhand, but he had some success there. So now he can start to maybe open his shoulders a bit, feeling his way into this final.
0-15.
No, Chela slipped just before missing that backhand. Both players expert at moving on this surface, sliding. But Horner a little bit lower to the ground. You know, when you're lower, it's easier to play the low balls. It's easier to adjust. Chela at 6'3" has a little bit more mobility problems. And this guy's like a bull. Another unforced error. Pulling off the backhand, losing contact with his back leg. Normally you want to keep that leg down to support your backhand. When you see that back leg come off the air, typically the ball's going to float and sail. That's lovely. That time, good balance, able to change the direction of the ball.
Outstanding depth. Drawing 30 all.
And you know, we haven't heard of that many great Peruvian tennis players throughout the years. One guy that I remember growing up with, probably most people never heard of him, Fernando Mainetto, played tennis way back in the late 70s. Then came to America, became a teaching coach.
Nice combination for Horna.
Well, that's what he can do damage with. He can take some of those short balls off the return, set up by a good serve, and if he can make himself feel that he can approach, move into the court, he'll have a lot of chances to put balls away. But he's going to have to take some risk. And as you know, Brian, this is a risk-adverse surface that these guys are playing on. Now once again, Chela seeing his opponent out of position, being able to hit a very easy volley. Chela not known as a very good volleyer, but when you have your opponent pinned back so far behind the baseline, you just have to open up the racket face, drop the ball into the open court. And that's a perfect example of the Chela forehand. He was on the run and he was able to create extreme angle with the forehand. And he was able to pull Horna way off the court. And that's what Chela's really trying to do. He's trying to open up the court, use as much of it as he can, and get Horna to have to move an awful lot so he cannot dictate the way the points are being played. And now an opportunity when Horna misses that first serve. Excellent opportunity for Chela to step in, try try to dictate with the forehand. No, Brian, you sort of get the feeling that Horna's trying to bait Chela a bit. He's leaving a lot of space open and making Chela go for the aggressive winner off the backhand.
Which has been spotty at the outset.
That's a big second serve.
Horna consolidates his break, and after being a love 2 deficit victim in this opening set, he's won 3 consecutive games.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
This month on Center Court, meet Sweden's comeback kid.
I can compete with the big boys.
Center Court featuring Tomas Johansson this month.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers. And the money's great, too.
If you're not working from home, then you're missing out on your share of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I'm making $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
I actually like what I do now, and I'm making more than ever.
Put your computer to work now.
My goal for next month is $20,000.
Working from home changed my life. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love working from home.
Ready for more money? Start earning extra money yourself by going to this website today. Log on to 37venture.com now.
And Taylor Dent has won 7-5, 6-4. We've seen a reversal in this initial set, and now the 7 seed, Chela, serving at 2-3, unable to maintain the momentum after he grabbed the opening game break.
And that match that they just played 2 weeks ago in Buenos Aires, certainly on the mind of both players, because even though Chela came away with the victory, it was dead even. It's 7-6 in that first set before Horna got injured, and Horna looking for a little bit of an edge to, you know, it's always good to come back and have that revenge factor rather than the other guy's position of being, well, having got the win under his belt and having to try to defend it. That ball sailing because Horna didn't read the ball properly. It was mishit and he waited too long. A lot of breaks happen on clay courts. I don't mean break of serves, I mean just breaks. You don't know exactly how that ball is going to bounce.
Chela's first ace.
And that was a bad bounce. Ball stayed down. Chela able to adjust.
Yielding, though, to the good results. Holding at love. Level at 3 opening set.
And a lot of margin for error on the Chela forehand. He has that big looping topspin swing, but he can adjust that swing. So if the ball's low, he can go down and get it. And if it's high, he can make the change as well. Wow.
What a shot.
Well, he guessed correctly. Horna made a good serve, then had a forehand that he tried to blast, but Chela's standing right there. He guessed where it was going. And if you guess right and you have a forehand like Chela, that's the result. Going for the knockout.
Luis taking some time to dust off, trying to equal a feat achieved by his boyhood idol. Grew up trying to model his play after Thomas Muster, who won the first 4 stagings of this event when it was held in Mexico City from 1993 through 1996.
Well, that's not a bad guy to pattern your game after. And certainly by the way Horna plays, you know how intense and how tough he is. That reminds you a bit of Muster. And Muster was a fiery character as well.
And now the monologue begins.
Man, you can't repeat that.
In a love 30 hole.
He's angry, and it'll be interesting to see how he responds with this anger. That's just too much ground to cover. Chela using the forehand to open up the court, hitting with depth and angle, and getting Horna well out of position. Even though Horna does well to get the ball back, that's just too easy for someone at the level of Chela. So now a double break opportunity.
Chela.
But you can see the limited movement from Chela. Not real athletic when he's running up to the net or trying to cover balls. It's very difficult for him. Does well to get it back, but for Horna, well, that ball's nice and easy for him. Still down a break point though.
And fights out of it with the large serve. 132.
Pretty good for a guy that size on a clay court. You don't get too many free points with serve on this surface. Just ask Roger Federer.
And here's a third break chance in the 7th game.
And Horna looking at the lines, looking at the dirt, thinking there's something wrong. He's not getting a clean bounce. Can't be his game. It's got to be the surface.
The vagaries of clay.
He's going to want Romano to look at that, but it's confirmed. Smart shot from Chela in a defensive posture, just getting the ball back.
Cashes in on his second break of this opening set, and now Luis battling his emotions. We'll be back.
The Tennis Channel and Franklin Templeton present Fans Perspective. Today, your take on instant replay.
Instant replay.
Instant replay.
Instant replay should have been incorporated a long time ago.
It would make it very clear if the ball is in or out.
There's a human mistake factor there.
They need something like that.
I think the technology's there.
They should have 2 challenges a match.
I don't agree with that. I do not think that instant replay should be incorporated.
The truth needs to be told.
Fans Perspective is brought to you by Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
You see a long business trip. At Franklin Templeton, we saw regional air travel rising and invested in a commuter jet manufacturer ready to take off. A smart move for our fund shareholders. Perspective like this has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. Ask your advisor for a prospectus with investment goals, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Hi, my name's Hank Pfister. Welcome to the Tennis Channel's 1 Minute Clinic, and today we're going to talk about the return to serve. The first tip is to make sure that you do not stand parallel to the baseline. Make sure that you face your opponent serving to you. Square your hips to the server. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you always move towards the ball as the arrows are pointing forward into the court. My third tip on the return to serve is to make sure that you have a restricted backswing. So you want to concentrate on turning the shoulders, going to the ball along the line, and following through, hopefully with a solid contact. So remember, the 3 tips on the return to serve are to make sure that you square your hips towards the server, you make sure you go towards the ball, and that you do that with a restricted backswing. For more 1 Minute clinics, keep it tuned right here on the Tennis Channel.
Horna's going to need a new racket. Chela looks to consolidate the break. A reminder that we hope you can join us for our coverage from Las Vegas. A lot of history between James Blake and Leighton Hewitt, although Leighton has apologized for that controversial incident years ago at the U.S. Open. We'll bring you the finals live from Nevada, 4 p.m. Eastern, later today, if you're on the East Coast, Sunday, wherever you may be.
And one would think that now Chela's got a big advantage because Horner really lost his composure in that last game, broke his racket after he dropped his serve, and now Chela painting the lines. This type of behavior from Horner, not all that unusual. He's got a very, very short fuse.
Horner was channeling his emotion there moving forward.
Absolutely, but you can see that the bounces are giving both players trouble. Because on that particular play, Chela ran to the right spot. He was ready and set up for the backhand, but the ball didn't come up for him. Another bad backhand. And a real contrast in style between both men's backhands. Chela with the two-hander, very important for him to get to the ball early, otherwise you see that type of error. With Horna, he's really able to extend his wrist and whip over the ball. And it's two entirely different shots. It's funny that the smaller gentleman is able to really rip over the top of the ball with extreme topspin. Oh boy, what a game after you break serve.
Double fault and a pair. Break chances.
Worked so hard to get the break, and then 3 unforced errors. Can't consolidate this way.
Saves one with the ace. His second of this championship.
Well, John Barrett, a gentleman that I work with quite a bit doing international tennis, always says that most tennis matches aren't won, but they're lost, and these last 2 games are a perfect indication of that. Oop, the racket again. Well, that's good defense from Chela. Guessing right, then going way behind Horna. Chela doing well to save that break point. Hasn't saved it yet. Oh, what a shot. Surprised Chela because he went behind him. Typically, Horna's been rolling that backhand cross court. Chela's looking for the cross court, but not this time. Now another golden opportunity for Horna. Second ball. Probably try and hit a heavy forehand if he can. Just out.
And that's the most violent display of temper we've seen from the Peruvian.
Well, he does so well to run down that ball. Then he's in position to do whatever he wants. Goes for the topspin lob. He's got Chela, but no. And I hope that Horna's got an endless supply of rackets tonight because he's throwing them around pretty good. And just because it's red clay doesn't mean it doesn't break rackets.
Another break chance saved.
Break chance.
He's not even trying to do it.
It's too good. Yeah. Well, you see Horna ripping from the backcourt, and it seems like the more upset he's getting, the harder he's trying to play. So that was a smart tactic. The element of surprise, you don't think a guy who's that upset is going to hit a drop shot, which is a finesse shot. So even though he's upset, he's playing through the anger pretty well. Very few guys could get that upset in a short period of time and be able to hang in there. Change of pace worked.
Chela unable to consolidate the break. Horna breaks back. Both players have been broken twice in this first set, level at 4.
And those were interesting tactics from Horna. Basically electing to slow the pace down, throwing the high, spinny ball rather than the one that Chela was getting accustomed to. Chela had to create all the power himself. The ball flew off his racket. We got a match here. Not the kind of lob Chela was hoping for. This only the second final appearance ever for Horna, and his first on a clay court. The previous one, as you'd mentioned earlier, came in America against Leighton Hewitt. Long Island, 2004. Well, you could see the indecision from Horna on that backhand. He wanted to hit a little drop shot, but he pulled off the ball at the last second, almost like bunting it. Pulling off, indecisive. When you're indecisive, you make mistakes. Showed you the movement, the athleticism from the Peruvian. And that's the one problem with the game of Chela. He gets his opponent out of position, but is not able to end the point. If he could come in and volley, if he had confidence, he would have taken that ball much shorter and wouldn't have had to worry about playing a deep baseline shot.
Saturday night crowd a bit restless. And Mr. Gelati with the advisory to remain seated. 30-0.
That's clutch.
His second ace, 132 miles per hour. Ace number 3 holds at 30, consolidates his break. And Luis Horna leads the opening set in Acapulco 5-4. time now for the Acura Tennis Report. A pair of fantastic finals on the ATP Tour. Leighton Hewitt and James Blake got on a roll in Las Vegas, earning spots in the championship match of the Tennis Channel Open. Number 1 and number 2 were the last two standing in Dubai. Roger Federer met Rafael Nadal in the final. Andre Agassi only made it to the second round in Dubai. Agassi will skip the clay court season and the French Open, opting to focus on Wimbledon. More Davis Cup action in the Golden State when the Acura Tennis Report continues.
The Acura MDX. Connect to the modern world or escape from it.
Welcome back to the Acura Tennis Report. Amelie Mauresmo will have to wait to return to number 1 on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour. The Frenchwoman fell to Nadia Petrova in the Qatar Open final. Mauresmo would have moved past top-ranked Kim Clijsters with the victory. Petrova won her second career singles title. For the second time this year, California has been chosen to host Davis Cup matches. The U.S. will take on Chile and Rancho Mirage in April. Andy Roddick and the Bryan brothers are expected to play for the USA once again in the quarterfinals. Results from Indian Wells next time on the Acura Tennis Report.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Juan Ignacio Chela has had his opportunities in this first set, up 2-love and then 4-3. Unable to consolidate that break. And seals it with the overhead, so now needing to raise his play as things progress in set number 1.
And that's the type of play that a former player, top Argentine player who used to work with Chela, Javier Frana, used to get him doing. We don't see enough of that from Chela, taking advantage of the big forehand. And unlike a lot of players, you see Horna electing to let the ball bounce. Gives himself a little bit of time. It also gives Chela more time to get into the point, but certainly Horna feels more comfortable with that shot rather than trying to hit it in the air. Well, it was a very defensive volley from Chela. He elected to come forward, but the approach wasn't deep enough, it wasn't good enough, and then he went on the defense even though he was at the net. And now Horna just 2 points away from this opening set. Have to question the judgment on that shot. Horna in a long point saying, why did I have to do that?
He's questioning it himself.
Not a Phi Beta Kappa shot, although I wouldn't know that. Chela first serve percentage has gone way off. Well, too many second shots here. But then the air.
Yep. Horna was on the move and in the right position to make that shot, but could not capitalize, and it's 5-all first sets. Crowd trying to get involved. Argentine supporters picking up their vocal energy.
Jugadores están preparados, gracias. Gracias. Por favor.
That's lovely.
Well disguised and well executed drop shot.
What made it so effective was the good first return, pinning Horna behind the baseline, and then on a short ball, Horna thinks that Chela's going to drive the ball. So the element of surprise, beautifully done with the drop. And that's why the drop shot can be so effective when you have your opponent pinned well behind the baseline. Excellent depth from Chela, keeping Horna way back in the court, and then Chela just taking his time, getting the short ball, not rushing, not hurrying, and using that big looping topspin forehand. It's a high percentage shot.
And the number's getting a touch ominous for Horna.
Now look for Chela to run around and smack his favorite forehand. Hoping to get a second serve kick. Good second ball, though. That's lovely. What courage from Luis Horna. Down love 35-all. The last thing you would expect is him coming in, and he caught Chela by surprise, and it worked. And that's a point we may look back in this match and say that made a difference.
Fourth ace. 125 miles per hour.
And Horna in no rush out there, taking plenty of time between points. What else could you ask for? Big first serve on a big point. Easy forehand, your favorite one. And now Horna's going to take even more time.
Understanding the magnitude of this break opportunity.
Well, Chela had an amazing opportunity there. Horna choked on the overhead. Let's face it, he just missed a real easy forehand the point before. He didn't want to miss this one. And Chela's right there, but does nothing with the ball. And somehow Horna's still alive in this game.
It was a very tentative reply by Chela. Deuce.
And let's not forget, Chela doesn't have huge confidence in this final. Last time he won was in 2004.
Tried to jump on that serve, but unable to draw it in.
looks more like it.
Winning combination, shakes off the break chance. And drawing closer to an opening set tiebreak, potentially. We'll be back with more of our coverage from Acapulco in just one moment. Time now for the Acura Tennis Report. A pair of fantastic finals on the ATP Tour. Leighton Hewitt and James Blake got on a roll in Las Vegas, earning spots in the championship match of the Tennis Channel Open. Number 1 and number 2 were the last two standing in Dubai. Roger Federer met Rafael Nadal in the final. Andre Agassi only made it to the second round in Dubai. Agassi will skip the clay court season and the French Open, opting to focus on Wimbledon. More Davis Cup action in the Golden State when the Acura Tennis Report continues.
The Acura MDX. Connect to the modern world or escape from it.
Welcome back to the Acura Tennis Report. Amelie Mauresmo will have to wait to return to number 1 on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour. The Frenchwoman fell to Nadia Petrova in the Qatar Open final. Mauresmo would have moved past top-ranked Kim Clijsters with the victory. Petrova won her second career singles title. For the second time this year, California has been chosen to host Davis Cup matches. The U.S. will take on Chile and Rancho Mirage in April. Andy Roddick and the Bryan brothers are expected to play for the USA once again in the quarterfinals. Results from Indian Wells next time on the Acura Tennis Report.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Chela serving to force a tiebreaker opening set.
Well, we haven't seen much of that from Horna. Most of the time, the backhand has gone cross-court with heavy topspin. This time, he takes the ball early, has time, and goes up the high part of the net, changes the direction of the ball. Perfect execution from the Peruvian.
King Taiwan. Left. Primero.
Well, Brian, certainly at this point of the match, Horna is the one who's been willing to take a few more chances, step up into the court, keep Chela off balance, and the most important thing was, well, execution. At this game so far, Horna being able to paint both lines off the backhand and the forehand. And that time, Horna giving a little bit of a gamesmanship play, moving around, trying to show an opening to Chela up the middle of the court. This guy's on his cell phone, doesn't realize he's at a very crucial stage of a tennis match.
30 iguales.
A little bit overzealous there from Horna. High marks to Chela being able to come through with his forehand when he needs it. And now a good serve into the body. So 1 point from the tiebreak.
40, 30.
Chela seals it. First set will be decided by a tiebreak. In recent weeks, winners on clay through South America have included Jose Acasusa, who brought you that championship from Viña del Mar, Carlos Moya, Buenos Aires, and a week ago it was the Chilean, Nicolas Massou in Brazil.
Tonight, maybe another country will be represented. Now you got to say that's a gutsy move. First point of the tiebreak. Chela well behind the baseline, and that's what made the drop shot so effective. Lovely shot.
Wonderful pickup by Chela.
Well, what made that shot so good is he anticipated it. That was a wonderfully played drop shot, but Chela's there. He's there and he slides in plenty of time, which allows him to put the ball where he wants to. One thing you got to say though, Brian, is no ill effects so far in terms of conditioning coming from Horna, even though he had that real struggle last night with Gaudio.
Taking that semifinal in 3 sets.
Well, you can overplay shots, and a lot of times players on this surface fall in love with the drop shot, sometimes to their demise. And you can just tell when Chela gets the opportunity to hit forehands, he really feels like he can control the point. So it's equally important for Horna to not let him do that.
As you see, Chela leads the tiebreak 2-1 on the serves.
Going behind the opponent, smart move. But we pretty much talked about this at the outset. The serving of Horna, it would make a difference if he can serve good first serves because he can do a lot with that serve. Equally the same for Chela. Another big serve. Draws a very short return.
And the sharp winner. 3-2. Horna lead.
Now the pressure reverting to Chela. Now he's going to have to start serving well, particularly as we get deeper into this tiebreak. Any lapses on serve, the other guy's going to attack. Smart first serve. Horna having a wonderful conversation with himself.
Well, it doesn't seem to be a liability. Unlike so many players who have battled their emotions, the goal for the Peruvian to channel that energy. Highly competitive championship match. Both players broken twice in the opening set.
Well, Horna's very feisty, and sometimes by getting upset, even though we see it as anger, it maybe is a way for him to relax, believe it or not. Chela much different from that standpoint, keeps it all inside. Doesn't want to show you anything like a good poker player. And there's a perfect example. Chela had his opponent way out of position, well behind the baseline, but doesn't do anything about it. And then hits a lazy forehand wide.
Resulting in the mini break. Horna, and he's feeling it a bit.
And Chela better be careful, because this guy's now got it going. The bus is going forward, and there's no telling if he's going to stop, because he's been fighting emotions this entire first set, but now he's been able to string a few good points together. And this is the type of thing that can help establish momentum going into a second set, particularly when he's been nervous in only his second final. Wow!
And punctuates it with emotion. 3 set points.
Lovely get from Chela. Does all he can do, and fully extended, almost falling backwards and almost down, but Horna athletic. Now he's getting the crowd pumped up as well. Horna saying that was a let cord. Romano Grillotti saying absolutely not. This ball seemingly touched the top of the net, but there's a net cord device there. Obviously it didn't go off. Horna has to play the ball.
And Grillotti referring to that electronic measure, saying no reading in his chair. Chela still facing set points.
Cooks it long. Horna seemingly in control of that point, opening up his shoulders, really hitting the ball with depth and heaviness, but not able to convert. Two fallen by the wayside.
Another chance here on his racket.
And what's really interesting is initially this was a Chela crowd. Decidedly Chela. As the match has gone on, they've swung. There it is.
Luis Horna takes the opening set tiebreaker 7-5, looking to knock out yet another seeded player and win the championship in Acapulco.
I work for Forbes magazine, and I'm a professional photographer.
GoDaddy customer Glenn Davis.
Registering a domain name at GoDaddy is not only easy, but it's really fun. My professional website is ishootpictures.com. The primary reason that I was so thrilled to find GoDaddy is the customer service. I got a person on the phone that was friendly and responsive and knowledgeable and just wanted to help me.
Just go to www.godaddy.com/TV. This month on Open Access, visit the land down under. They're crazy down here! Open Access, this month.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers, and the money's great too.
If you're not working from home, then you're missing out on your share of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I'm making $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
I actually like what I do now, and I'm making more than ever.
Put your computer to work now.
My goal for next month is $20,000.
Working from home changed my life. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love working from home.
Ready for more money? Start earning extra money yourself by going to this website today.
Log on to 37venture.com now.
In the second singles final of his career, Luis Horna going after his first title. Promising start, outlasting Juan Ignacio Chela. Opening set.
Chela knows he's in for a real battle tonight because last time they played, Chela had won that opening set in a tiebreak, but Horna was not to be found after that. He had to retire, but not tonight. It's a final. It's a different environment. That match was in Buenos Aires. The significance of the match being in Buenos Aires, it was the hometown crowd for Chela, not tonight. And the big advantage by winning that first set, Horna can now open up his shoulders, can relax a little bit, can go for a few more shots. Chela's going to have to think about it a little bit. He knows he's going to have to improve the quality of his first serve. He's going to have to cut down on the unforced errors because he had 2 breaks in that opening set, was not able to consolidate. And this is a great way to start off the second set.
Deft touch. Folded love. To open the second set. When the week began, there were 8 Argentines in the draw. 7 Spaniards, although Argentina has been hit hard by injuries. Nalbandian with the abdominal trouble, and then erratic play by Guillermo Coria and Gaston Gaudio as of late.
Coria losing in his first round to Alessio Di Mauro from Italy. Straight sets, a qualifier. Gaudio himself has been struggling this year, but did reach the semi and did win that opening set against Horna, but was not able to keep it up and faltered in the latter stages of the match.
Fifth ace for Horna.
And I really thought we'd be seeing Carlos Moya in the semi or final this week because of the performance that he had in Buenos Aires, winning that event, beating Volandri in the final, but he not lost in the second round to Albert Montañez, the countryman. And that was an unusual loss for Moya because typically when he wins the first set, he wins the match. He won that first set 6-2, but then lost in a tiebreak in the second and was out-battled by Montañez in the third, 6-4. So lots of upsets this week, hence here's who we're with in the final.
A unseeded player going after the title.
And boy, has he served well tonight. Even though he was broken twice in that opening set, under pressure, that serve has really done wonders for him.
127 on the gun, ace number 6, and you touched on it in the early stages of the match that it could be a difference maker.
Well, he certainly has a lot more courage when he steps up to the line than his opponent does. He feels he can win free points off the serve.
His first double fault.
No doubt about it, in that opening set, when things were tight, he relied on his serve to really open up points for him, and the tiebreak as well. That's really what made the difference. And that's playing psychological games with Chela, no doubt about it. Yeah, he's just got Chela moving all over the place. And even on that one, Chela tried to intimidate his opponent by running way behind his backhand on the first serve, but Horna outsmarting him, going up the tee and then taking advantage of the short return. He's not missing the short balls now. He's got confidence.
Well, Doug, you never want to indict an entire nation or culture, but unfortunately when you discuss Argentine male tennis, the issue of performance-enhancing drugs and failed tests for banned substances arises, and Chela, having gone through that himself in 2001 with the 3-month suspension.
Yeah, he was one of the first. We're talking before Coria, before Puerta. Actually, Puerta was before everyone back in 2000.
The second offense resulting in the 8-year suspension. 5 Argentines with positive tests in the last 5 years.
And that's not a stellar stat. That's not something you want your country to be known for. But in the case of Chela, let's look at it in a positive. It was 3 months, and after he came back, he won 6 challenger titles, and he climbed 700 spaces after all of that was taken away from him. What I find interesting, though, about the steroids, the performance-enhancing drugs, the growth hormone, you look at guys like Chela and Coria, very slight build, smaller type of guys, you know, they're the ones that you would think, well, maybe they need it because of recovery, you know, they get worn out. You look at a guy like Horna, he's a stocky, short guy, he's not going to have the same issues. Now, maybe that's just an excuse I'm making for these guys, but, you know, there are certain similarities. Once again, bad movement from Chela. Out of position. I mean, Brian, what's your take on the whole steroid thing?
Now, I know most folks want the match to speak for itself, so we'll let this game close out and come back with some thoughts. Chela holds, no breaks, second sets. But the man from Peru, up a set in Acapulco.
For back pain
or sore knees,
you need more than support.
You need support and pain relief.
Only from Icy Hot Pro Therapy. Unique neoprene support braces with special icy inserts to dull pain or hot inserts to relax it. Icy Hot Pro Therapy.
Count on it.
Saab was founded by 16 aircraft engineers. Their spirit lives on. The Saab 9.3 Aero convertible with an all-new 250 horsepower turbocharged V6. When you used to build jets, you don't build just another car. Saab, born from jets.
The Tennis Channel's the only channel that serves up the exciting tennis, racquetball, table tennis, paddleball, squash, and badminton tournaments that you want. The U.S. Open of Racquetball, Wednesday night at 9, only on the Tennis Channel.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Just to put a postscript on our doping conversation, I think it speaks to how seriously tennis takes the issue that so many other sports have labored with the right policy, how to find adequate suspensions, and few sports are as severe as our sports in trying to combat things that would make the sport less competitive. Horna serves.
Chela was able to get a couple breaks of serve in that first set, wasn't able to do much with them. Now hoping to get another chance so he can once again reestablish himself in this match where the momentum has really shifted. Now a half chance here for Chela. Last time Horna was in trouble on his serve, he served and volleyed. Used the element of surprise.
And the big serve continues to aid his cause. That was 137 miles per hour.
And he was coming forward. So he's pretty much decided when he gets in trouble in this match, he's going to attack. The one-handed backhand now from Horna. He's really well prepared, gets the racket back in plenty of time, and has the high follow through. Even on the high balls, he's able to come over the top of the ball, brush it, and then follow through high. That time he jammed Chela deep on the baseline. This is a different guy now than we saw earlier in the match. Horna trying to paint the lines, that time just a little bit deep. But what he's doing in this match is he's really trying to expose the one real weakness in the Chela game. That's the movement. As well as he hits the ball, as well as he can stroke the ball and create problems for Horna, he has a lot of difficulty on the run. Another free point off the serve.
Wonderfully played. In this fourth game, second set, Horna rallies from the love 30 deficit to hold.
And time again tonight, when he gets in trouble, he relies on his serve to get him out of trouble. The problem facing Chela right now is he's had opportunities, he hasn't been able to convert. And as you get tighter into a match and you're losing, then that starts to wear on you. And eventually you end up losing your confidence before you lose the match. Players have been on court an hour and 32 minutes. It's quite a long time. We're only at 2-all in the second set.
Luis jumping on that ball.
Well, I really like strategically how he's played tonight. He's known when to go for his shots, particularly we talked about second balls being the opportunity and the opportune time. The Chela serve starting to give him some difficulty. That is Chela himself, not Horna. Yeah, that was beautiful from Horna. First, the well-played drop shot, and then Chela's a sitting duck at the net. doesn't really know what to do. He's defending up there, and you're not up there to defend, you're up there to win the point. Horna being able to have an easy play on that passing shot.
Large moment arises.
Good response.
Third ace of the match.
What Chela would give right now for another one of those, having to work far too hard on his serve.
Luis Horna picks up the break. He's up a set and a break in the finals of the Mexican Open. Time now for the Acura Tennis Report. A pair of fantastic finals on the ATP Tour. Leighton Hewitt and James Blake got on a roll in Las Vegas, earning spots in the championship match of the Tennis Channel Open. Number 1 and number 2 were the last two standing in Dubai. Roger Federer met Rafael Nadal in the final. Andre Agassi only made it to the second round in Dubai. Agassi will skip the clay court season and the French Open, opting to focus on Wimbledon. More Davis Cup action in the Golden State when the Acura Tennis Report continues.
The Acura MDX. Connect to the modern world or escape from it.
Welcome back to the Acura Tennis Report. Amelie Mauresmo will have to wait to return to number 1 on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour. The Frenchwoman fell to Nadia Petrova in the Qatar Open final. Mauresmo would have moved past top-ranked Kim Clijsters with the victory. Petrova won her second career singles title. For the second time this year, California has been chosen to host Davis Cup matches. The U.S. will take on Chile and Rancho Mirage in April. Andy Roddick and the Bryan brothers are expected to play for the USA once again in the quarterfinals. Results from Indian Wells next time on the Acura Tennis Report.
At eHarmony, we help create passionate relationships that have what it takes to stay passionate for a lifetime.
This was truly love at first sight.
Even though we've known each other for a little over a year and a half, I still get goosebumps.
I wanted to find someone that I would be happy with forever.
Fell in love with her instantly, actually.
Love based on true compatibility is a powerful, life-changing experience. That's why at eHarmony, we match you on 29 proven dimensions of compatibility.
It's about the heart. It's about what is inside of that person.
Somebody loves you as much as you love them.
He loves me for me.
When you find someone like that, you want to spend the rest of your life with them. That's incredible.
Experience the power of love based on true compatibility. It starts with your compatibility profile. A $50 value, yours free, when you log on to eHarmony.com.
I never, ever would have met him if it wasn't for eHarmony.
The rest is history.
eHarmony.com. Log on today.
Major chance for Luis Horna to consolidate the break in this championship match from Acapulco. We'll bring you to finals as well. First time ever, the Tennis Channel Open in Las Vegas. Marquee matchup, Leighton Hewitt, James Blake, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's Sunday. And we approach Sunday in all time zones. Hope you've enjoyed this marathon day of coverage here on the Tennis Channel, wrapping up the South/Latin American swing on the clay courts.
And Brian, that point's really indicative of what's happened to Chela in this match. Every time he tries to step up into the court, he makes unforced errors. That time he tried to take the backhand early, slid off his racket, but when you see Horna dictating play and keeping Chela pinned back, it really works to Horna's advantage. And Chela knows what he has to do. He just hasn't been able to quite execute properly. And that time, Chela once again well behind the baseline, way off the court, trying to protect against the backhand. It's really hard for him to make anything happen out there other than with the use of his forehand. Whereas Horna, we're seeing him being able to do a lot with his serve, his forehand, and even his backhand. That's just too far behind the court. He's under too much pressure. It was different when the match started for him because he was able to move a little bit better, get there a little bit sooner, but now he's trailing and he's playing way too much defense. And actually the speed of foot of Horna really creating problems for Chela.
And hitting those ground strokes with far more authority, it seems, in the second set.
Conviction and pace. But we talked about that. You get that first set under your belt, open up your shoulders, things start to happen. Unfortunate. What a point.
But the game goes to Luis Horna, who consolidates the break, moves ahead 4-2 in the second set.
And it's remarkable how much energy Horna has right now. He's playing on adrenaline because yesterday was such a difficult match for him, whereas Chela had an easy walk in the park. But you know what? You get in the finals, you know you don't have that many opportunities, and you try to play your best and you don't worry about what happened the day before because each point is critical.
And he's posted wins over Caleri and Gaudio, looking to complete the trifecta. As you see, an hour and 40 minutes in match time.
Now it's going to be important for Horna not to think about what the score is, because as he gets closer to winning, it typically becomes a distraction. You lose your focus and matches slip away. And that's what Chela's really hoping for. He's hoping just to hang in there, hold his serve, and then maybe get a little bit of tension out of Horna. But you can't give away free points.
The second double fault.
Well, that point really shows you a lot about these players. Excellent depth on all the ground strokes. No one able to really step in and take a chance. And when you try to go for something like Chela does on a deep ball, it's too risky. You sense the pressure Chela's feeling right now.
His fourth ace. (117 miles per hour). Picks up the pace with his serve. But still work to be done. Horna serving for 5-3 second sets in Acapulco.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
This month on Center Court, meet Sweden's comeback kid.
I can compete with the big boys.
Center Court featuring Tomas Johansson this month.
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers. And the money's great, too.
If you're not working from home, then you're missing out on your share of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I'm making $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
I actually like what I do now, and I'm making more than ever.
Put your computer to work now.
My goal for next month is $20,000.
Working from home changed my life. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love working from home.
Ready for more money? Start earning extra money yourself by going to this website today. Log on to 37venture.com now.
A high level of tennis being played on the Pacific coast of Mexico, about 190 miles southwest of Mexico City. This match in Acapulco, where Horna drawing closer to what would be his first singles title.
And of everything that he's done tonight, the serve has been a major weapon for him, particularly at crucial stages of this match. And he's going to have to serve out this match probably, so it's important that he keeps the momentum.
His seventh ace, and it's 30 love. 110 miles per hour.
Romano Grillotti just coming down to make sure. Be careful going back up there, Romano, okay? He missed it. He missed it wide. And that truly is a problem for Chela. We think of him as a great clay court player and a specialist, but really on a hard court, he's going to be able to do a little bit more with that ball. Horna wouldn't have as much time to run those balls down, hence Chela not having to even worry about the volley.
In fact, last year, Chela had a better record on hard courts than clay, sub 500 on the dirts. Nicely done there.
Chela is not known as a good mover, and typically on clay, to really be successful, you have to be able to stay out there and run down balls all day long, sort of like Horna. And he can't get to that one.
Terrific serve. He holds at 15, closing in. What would be his first singles title?
And if you ask me, Chela's playing far too far behind that baseline. You can't do any damage on a second ball when you're that far behind. You're letting the angle play you rather than taking the ball early. And that's one tactic that Chela has not changed throughout this match.
We gave you a taste of that women's final. That is wrapped up on the outer court. Annalena Groeneveld defeating the defending champ, Flavia Pennetta, of the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour. And the crowd picking up their interest. Chela's fifth ace seals the game, but Luis Horna will serve for the championship in Acapulco when we come back on the Tennis Channel.
The Tennis Channel presents the most spectacular tennis on the tour with the Stouffer's Hot Shot from the SAP Open in San Jose. Johnny Mac shows he's back with this sensational reflex volley.
Oh, I don't believe it. McEnroe with a tremendous reflex volley leap from way down there.
This Tennis Channel Hot Shot has been brought to you by Stouffer's. See what's cooking at Stouffer's.
What's cooking at Stouffer's? A whole menu of restaurant-inspired dishes. Corner bistro entrees from Stouffer's. 6 delicious entrees like seafood scampi, shrimp and scallops tossed in a buttery garlic sauce and served over linguine pasta. It's not what you'd expect from frozen, but it is what you'd expect from Stouffer's. Try our full menu of corner bistro entrees and see what's cooking at Stouffer's.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Luis Horna trying to make his 5th game break, stand up, serving for the championship in Acapulco.
Just a huge moment for the 25-year-old from Lima, Peru, looking for his first title on the ATP circuit. And that's a fine way to start off, doing with what he's done to get here. Stayed aggressive, used the serve to open up the court, never change a winning game. One of the very few unforced errors we've seen from Horna in this second set. He's been able to hold serve rather at will, but it gets tougher when you're serving for the championship. Took his time, got there real early. That's why that shot was easy, because Horna moves so well to this ball. If he doesn't get there quickly enough, he's not going to have time to pick out where he wants to hit the shot. And as you noticed, he didn't go Chela's forehand. He stayed on the backhand. Sail on.
A pair of championship points.
And just a solid game so far from Horna, with the exception of the second point. Continuing to press Chela. So well to that one. First time in the match, we really saw Horna a bit off on the movement, something he's done so well in this match. What's it feel like to win your first ATP tournament?
I would say overcome with emotion. Luis Horna, champion on the ATP Tour. His first singles title comes in Acapulco. The title of the Mexican Open goes to Luis Horna. He takes it 7-6, 6-4. Back with more on the Tennis Channel. Time now for the Acura Tennis Report. A pair of fantastic finals on the ATP Tour. Leighton Hewitt and James Blake got on a roll in Las Vegas, earning spots in the championship match of the Tennis Channel Open. Number 1 and number 2 were the last two standing in Dubai. Roger Federer met Rafael Nadal in the final. Andre Agassi only made it to the second round in Dubai. Agassi will skip the clay court season and the French Open, opting to focus on Wimbledon. More Davis Cup action in the Golden State when the Accurate Tennis Report continues.
The Acura MDX. Connect to the modern world or escape from it.
Welcome back to the Accurate Tennis Report. Amelie Mauresmo will have to wait to return to #1 on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour. The Frenchwoman fell to Nadia Petrova in the Qatar Open final. Mauresmo would have moved past top-ranked Kim Clijsters with the victory. Petrova won her second career singles title. For the second time this year, California has been chosen to host Davis Cup matches. The U.S. will take on Chile and Rancho Mirage in April. Andy Roddick and the Bryan brothers are expected to play for the USA once again in the quarterfinals. Results from Indian Wells next time on the Accurate Tennis Report.
National Dog Day is a new dog holiday.
GoDaddy customer Colleen Page.
I felt that it was really important to honor and celebrate what military dogs, bomb-sniffing dogs, search and rescue dogs do for us. There's many different elements to having a website, and GoDaddy makes it really easy to handle. I don't think my presence would be as great on the web without GoDaddy.
Just go to www.godaddy.com/TV.
There's no one exactly like you. No one has the same financial goals or cares about the same people. That's why Raymond James Financial Advisors have the independence to offer unbiased advice that's right for you. And it's why we pioneered the idea of financial planning. You might say we're just as unique as you are. Raymond James, individual solutions from independent advisors.
Luis Horna picking up his first career singles title. Winner's check for $128,000 American. Chela runner-up, $67,500. And overall, Doug, I think you hit on major themes. We're benefiting from the effective serve, was the aggressor, was able to use Chela's lack of lateral quickness against him.
Absolutely. And Horner, the one question we had was how would he recover from that win over Gaudio last night? Such a difficult, not only physical match, but emotional match to win. But Horner did so well in this event, knocking off Caleri, then Gaudio, and now Chela, and he really deserved the victory, and he really was able to take it up a notch after getting through that first set.
Achieving personal history, and a reminder later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, the final from Las Vegas, Tennis Channel Open. Leighton Hewitt takes on James Blake. Eve Shiras leads our coverage. Doug, outstanding to work with you once more.
Thank you, Brian. I enjoyed it. It was an excellent match, and I think that match with Blake and Hewitt will be equally as good to watch.
It only gets better if you stay with us. For my partner, Doug Adler, this is Brian Weber. For all of us at the Tennis Channel, so long, everyone.
For back pain
or sore knees,
you need more than support.
You need support and pain relief.
Only from Icy Hot Pro Therapy. Unique neoprene support braces with special icy inserts to dull pain or hot inserts to relax it. Icy Hot Pro Therapy.
Count on it.
Entertaining on and off the court. The Tennis Channel. This month on Open Access, visit the land down under.
They're crazy down here!
Open Access, this month.
I am so tired of overpaying for health insurance.
Wow, I pay a lot less, and that covers me and my family.
If you're self-employed or an individual looking for affordable health insurance for yourself and your family, do what I did. Call Mega